Yesterday, I continued by telling you how Uddhavji had related the Bhagwatam to Vajranabh and all of the queens of Dwarika who were staying there in that area after Krishna had left. But that Parikshit had not gotten to hear it at that time because he was sent out by Uddhavji to subdue Kali Yuga and to conquer the four corners of the earth, which he did, becoming emperor of the entire earth planet. So he found Kali Yuga. Uddhava had told him, subdue Kali Yuga so that Kali Yuga cannot cause any disturbance in this Bhagavad Katha. So he found Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga was in a personal form kicking a bull and a cow. The cow was Mother Earth, and the bull is Dharma. So Dharma has four legs: Daya, Satya, Tap, and Shauch. Satya means truthfulness, honesty. Daya means compassion, mercy. Tap means the willingness to go without certain things in order to attain something. And Shauch means cleanliness, both physical cleanliness and of thoughts. So in Kali Yuga, there's only one of the four legs of that bull remaining. In other words, the four legs of Dharma are reduced to one in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, only Satya still stands, meaning we still value truthfulness. The society in general may not value Shauch, cleanliness of thoughts, or physical cleanliness. It's not something that we, as a whole, you see in Kali Yuga. People don't put that high of a value on it. Up, going without things, it's the opposite in Kali Yuga. People think more is better. So there's no tap in Kali Yuga. And Daya also, we think it's probably overrated. Take care of yourself. Others can worry about themselves. But Satya, that's important to everybody. We see that our public figures, whether they be famous athletes, famous actors and actresses, politicians, whoever they may be, we don't expect Shauch from them, we don't expect Daya from them, we don't expect Tap from them, but we do expect that they should be truthful. The moment any politician, any actor, any athlete is shown to be dishonest in some way, that we can't stand for. So there's one thing in Kali Yuga that we still value in terms of dharma, it's truthfulness. So that's why it said that in Kali Yuga, this bull, which is dharma in form, only has one leg. So Parikshit came upon Kali Yuga and he was beating upon this cow, Mother Earth, and this one-legged bull, Dharma. He only had one leg left and he was kicking that as well. So as I told you yesterday, Parikshit came and he grabbed a hold of Kali Yuga and he was ready to just kill him. But Kali Yuga fell at his feet and begged him that, please give me any agya, give me any instruction, but give me somewhere to reside, give me somewhere to live. So Parikshit showed mercy. He said, okay, you can stay in Hinsa. Hinsa means cruelty and violence. There's one place you can stay. Another place, Chal, means deceitfulness, craftiness. You stay in that as well. Number 2. Number 3, Madira, alcohol and other intoxicants that affect your mind. That's the 3rd place you can stay. And the 4th place you can stay is lustfulness. So these are your 4 places where you will reside, nowhere else. Kali Yuga requested that please give me just one more place. So Parikshit said, okay, one more. You can also stay in gold, wealth. And he released Kali Yuga. So now Parikshit has followed Uddhavji's instructions. He's become emperor of the entire earth. He prevented Kali Yuga from disturbing Uddhav's Bhagwat Katha. He told Bhagwat for a whole month, and as I told you, everyone attained Krishna, saw his leelas, and entered into his divine abode, taking part in those Vastavi leelas. But what about King Parikshit? We all know that he's the most famous Shrota of the Bhagavad. Shrota means the one who listens. Bhakta means the one who tells. So how did Parikshit get to hear about the Bhagavatam? It so happened that sometime later, he was out in the jungle and he was very thirsty. He came upon a sage's hut, and that sage, Shamik Muni, was in Samadhi, sitting outside of his hut. And Parikshit noticed that he's looking so glowing, and in fact he doesn't even seem to be touching the ground. He's just floating above the ground. But I'm thirsty, and this is his home. He should welcome me as a guest. But that Muni, Shamik Muni, he was totally unaware that anyone had come. He was completely absorbed in his own samadhi. So neither did he greet Parikshit, neither did he offer him anything. So Parikshit became angry. He felt insulted that you haven't shown me any respect whatsoever. So using his bow, he found a dead snake. He just lifted that bow on the end, the snake on the end of his bow, and he tossed it and hung it around the neck of Shamik Muni. He didn't notice. Shamik Muni had no idea what was going on, and Parikshit just left. But Shringi, Shamik Muni's son, came along and saw, oh, someone has hung a dead snake around my father's neck. And he knew that it was Parikshit. So he became very angry, and he cast a curse on Parikshit. He said, you're going to die within 7 days from the bite of a poisonous snake. Now his father came out of his samadhi, and his son told him everything that had happened, and his father scolded him. He said, you can't just go around giving curses like that. You have to be merciful, you have to be forgiving. But now it's too late. You can't take it back. And Parikshit didn't mind. See, this is part of a leela. Parikshit wasn't afraid. He didn't say, oh, please take the curse back. Oh, I don't want to die. He didn't mind. What did he do? He went back, put his son on the throne, left everything, went to the bank of Ganga river, and decided he was going to meditate on Krishna until that time of his death came. When he arrived there at the bank of Ganga, he found that he was not alone, because some other eternal saints started coming. While Parikshit was there, thinking, how am I going to spend the last 7 days I have to live? So some great saints started coming. Atri came, Agastya came, Vishwamitra came, Bharadwaj came, Vasisht came, Naradji came, Vedavyas came, even Parashuram came. They all came like a big long line of great eternal saints. And they came and they sat right there on the bank of Ganga with King Parikshit. So Parikshit was so happy to see all of these great saints. He welcomed them all, did pranam to them, thanked them for coming, and then he asked them a question. 2 questions, in fact. He said, please tell me, for a normal person living their life, what should they do at all times in all places? And for one who is about to die, what should that person do? 2 questions. An ordinary person at all times in all places, what should they be doing? And someone who's about to die, what should that person do? And then he asked them, you please just tell me Krishna Leelas so that my heart can be full of Krishna Bhakti, and even if I have to be reborn again after dying, at least I'll have Krishna Bhakti in my heart. So when he said these words, the Devtas showered flowers from above. And those Munis told him, we're not going anywhere until you leave your physical body and go to the divine world. We're staying right here with you. And as far as the answer to your 2 questions, Shukdev Ji Maharaj came. Shukdev, the same son of Vedavyas, he came and entered this great gathering of eternal saints. So, seeing him, Parikshit got up, came and sat him on the highest seat, did his puja, bowed down to him, and after he was done welcoming him properly with all of these formalities, then he stood with folded hands before him and asked him the same 2 questions. So Shukdev did not waste any time in answering. He said, Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavyah Kirtitavyascha Smartavyascha Bhayam. He said 3 things. So you might be thinking, okay, I have to do 3 things, but these 3 things, are they for a person who's living like a normal person, or are they for the person who's about to die? Well, in fact, it's the same answer for both. Whether you think you have the whole rest of your life in front of you, or whether you know you're going to die in 7 days like Parikshit, it's the same thing both people are supposed to be doing. He said 3 things. Shrotavyah, Kirtitavyascha, Smartavyah. The first one, Shravan, means listening. The second one, Kirtan, means chanting God's name. And the third one, Smaran, is what you do with your mind. So the first one you're doing with your ears. The second one you're doing with your voice. The third one you're doing with your mind, your man. He says these are the 3 prime forms of bhakti. Shravan means what you're doing right now. Obviously, it also requires the involvement of your mind. Your ears are part of it. The sound of my voice is coming and entering your ear. But if your mind is going somewhere else, thinking about something you have to do tomorrow, or what TV show you're going to watch when you get home tonight, if your mind is over there, then for that time that the mind has wandered, even though your ears are still open, you won't be registering what I'm saying. So Shravan requires the ears plus the mind. Kirtan is chanting. You could say, well, I can chant with my voice. Like in the beginning we were chanting Radhe Govinda. So I can do that without the involvement of my mind. Just like if you're singing the Arti and you've sung it so many times you have it memorized. Your mouth is moving, you're saying all the words of the Arti, but you might be thinking about something totally differently. Your mind can be somewhere else and your mouth is still repeating all the words of the arti. So this is not true kirtan. In fact, where our mind has gone, that is the action we're performing. That's a key point. If we're singing Radhe Govinda, but your son's name may be Govinda, your daughter's name may be Radha. So if you're singing Radhe Govinda, but thinking of your children, then whose name are you really taking? You're not taking God's name, you're taking your child's name. So even kirtan requires the involvement of the mind. You have to be thinking about the one whose name you're calling. Just like if you want to get someone's attention and for a minute their name has slipped your mind. So you're thinking of them, oh, that person, they look like this, their nose is like this, their eyes are like that. You're picturing that person in your mind and you're trying to think of their name. Oh yes, Mohan. Then you call him, oh Mohan, come here. So you thought of him, you thought of his form and his personality and his qualities, all of that whole package. You thought of that and the name associated with it. So both go together. In the same way, when we're doing kirtan, basically what we're doing is calling God to come to us. So if we're not thinking of him and it's just our mouth doing the chanting, it's not really kirtan. It means that Shravan is listening with the involvement of the mind so that all the knowledge registers in our mind. Kirtan is chanting God's name with the involvement of the mind so that our mind is thinking about the one whom we are calling, whose name we are calling. And smaran is just the mind. If you sit and think of Krishna, but you're not chanting his name, you're not listening to any philosophy or lila, but you're thinking of him, that is smaran. So in fact, you could say smaran was there with the other two. Thinking of him is smaran. So thinking of him plus doing chanting, that's kirtan plus smaran. Listening with the involvement of the mind, that's shravan plus smaran. Or you can just do smaran, but smaran has to be there in all three cases. Smaran is such a powerful thing and such a natural thing. Natural because we're always doing smaran of something. Our mind never stops. Not even for a moment. So we're always thinking, it means we're always doing smaran. Even when you're driving, you're watching the road, you're staying in your lane, you're seeing what cars are around you, you're still thinking about something. You might be thinking about someone, something. So that thing or that person you're thinking about, you're doing smaran of them. Smaran has the power of bringing the qualities, or you can just say bringing that person. Smaran brings that person into your heart. Whoever we're doing smaran of, they enter our heart. And whoever enters our heart becomes part of our heart, just like if you have wax, hard, clear wax. And you want to put some color in that. You want to make the wax red. But you can't because it's hard, it's solid. You can't mix the color in when it's solid. So what do you have to do? Melt it. Apply some heat. Once that wax is liquefied, then you add the color, mix it in, and the two become one. When we do smaran of someone like an emotional smaran, emotional means either out of love or hate, rag or dvesh. That has a heat to it that melts our heart. And that person that we're either lovingly remembering or hatefully remembering enters our heart and becomes a part of us. So that is why we actually take on the qualities of the people that we think deeply about in that way. And it's a form of meditation. It's like an emotional meditation we do on people and things that we're attracted to or we desire or that we're repelled by and that we dislike. Both have the same result. both of them enter into our mind and become part of us. So this is the power of Smaran. It has the power to change the quality of our mind by bringing that person or that thing into our mind. And the very same tendency of the mind to do this kind of Smaran can be directed towards God. That is called Bhakti. So it's these three kinds of Bhakti that Shukdev Ji is teaching to Parikshit. He's saying Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran. But Smaran is main. Because without Smaran, without loving remembrance of Krishna, you can keep chanting his name. You can keep listening to his leelas or listening to the philosophy, but it won't change you in here. Bhakti has the power of purifying your heart because Krishna is divine. So if you listen to his leelas or you listen to the philosophy related to him and you allow it to enter your heart, then that can purify your heart. If you're chanting his name and while doing that you lovingly remember him, that has the power to purify your heart because you're bringing him in and he's divine. He's absolutely pure. This is the power of Smaran. You remember Krishna, he enters your heart, and your heart purifies, which is the actual goal of Bhakti. Bhakti is supposed to change us in here. We often think that devotion should change our outer situation. If I do devotion to God, I should become wealthy, happy in a material sense. Bad things should not happen to me. No, true devotion is to change you in here. You do Smaran, you bring Bhagwan in your heart. That changes the quality of your heart, makes you a better person by revealing those divine qualities in your heart. Makes you happy because you start to experience the devotional bliss of your connection with Krishna. So this is Smaran, the actual integral form of Bhakti. So he tells Parikshit, whether you're about to die or whether you're living for you don't know how long, it's the same thing for both people. He told him again. He answered the question one time, and then again he said, Tasmat sarvatmana rajan harihi sarvatra sarvada shrotavyah kirtitavyascha smartavyo bhagavan nrinam. Told him the exact same thing. All the time, sarvada, and every place you are, sarvatra, just keep doing Shravan, Kirtan and Smaran of Krishna. Now, why would the answer be the same for Parikshit, who is about to die, and us, who will go on living? Well, the answer is because actually, we're in the same boat as Parikshit, almost. The only difference is he knew he was going to live for 7 days. We don't even know we're going to live for that long. So, we're in the same boat he's in, almost. We don't know. We could die at any time. Kohi janati kasyadya mrityu kalo bhavati mrityu kalo bhavishyati. Vedavyasji says in the Mahabharata, who knows when the time of their death is coming? No one knows. So since that could come at any moment, you want to keep your mind in God as much as possible all the time, no matter where you are or what you're doing. So keep saying his name, keep listening to his leelas, and most importantly of all, keep remembering him in your heart all the time. If you get tired of listening, okay, don't listen. If you get tired of doing Kirtan, okay, take a break from doing Kirtan, but never take a break from Smaran. Always keep remembering him. Shukadevji is telling Parikshit, that although Kali Yuga is dosha nidhi, like an ocean of all the faults, all the bad things come to the surface in Kali Yuga. We see it in the society, in people's behavior, and all the strife and conflict in the world. It's a manifestation of Kali Yuga. So it's like the ocean of all the wrong things, Kali Yuga is. However, there's one Mahan Guna, one amazing, great quality of Kali Yuga, which makes it worthwhile, which makes it worth living in compared to the other yugas. What is that? Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Brajet. That simply by lovingly chanting Krishna's name in Kali Yuga, lovingly means with smaran, you have to lovingly remember him and chant his name. Simply by doing that, you can attain Krishna in Kali Yuga, but not in other yugas. Krite yadhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhai dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. In other yugas, there's a lot more required and expected of us. In Satyug, you have to show a lot of renunciation, leave everything, go to the jungle, spend years and years in meditation on God. In Treta Yuga, you have to do great yajnas along with your devotion to God. In Dwapar Yuga, you have to do all kinds of difficult pujas. But in Kali Yuga, none of that is required. Just sit and lovingly chant his name. That is it. That's enough. So for those souls who would be born in Kali Yuga and have, you could say, Bhagavad Prapti kitna sasti hai Kali Yuga mein. It's so cheap, like, normally if something is on regular price is $1,000 and it's on sale today only for $10, you'll rush to buy it. Similarly, souls who have this understanding, they look forward to being born in Kali Yuga. That, oh, when will I get to be born in Kali Yuga so I can just attain God so easily by chanting his name? So Naradaji explained this is why Parikshit let Kali Yuga go free, so that the souls could be born in Kali Yuga, and at least those souls who are desiring God, they would have an easier time to find God in Kali Yuga. So it means it may be more difficult to bring your mind towards God in Kali Yuga, but if you're determined and you really do want to do devotion, you can be rewarded much more quickly for that devotion in Kali Yuga. So Naradaji explained all of this to Bhakti Mahadevi, and he also promised her that I will make sure to establish you in every house and every person's heart. I'll make that effort. Right now, no one's following you, but I'll make the effort to bring Bhakti into everyone's heart living in this world. And that's why he wrote his Narad Bhakti Darshan, to help with this. But Gyan and Vairagya were still lying there, old, and without energy, without strength. So Bhakti asked him, can you please do something to try to help my sons? Naradaji, he thought, why don't I recite Vedas? That has a power. There's so much knowledge in Ved. It's like knowledge personified is Ved. So surely that will help revive Gyan and Vairagya, because from proper knowledge comes Vairagya as well. So let me recite Ved, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Gita. He recited them over and over and over again. And it had some effect, like Gyan and Vairagya they would start to sit up a little bit, try to wake up a little, but then they'd just lie back down and go to sleep. So it had some effect, but not enough effect. It didn't fully bring them back to their youthful form. So Naradaji thought, now I don't know what to do. He just sat down and he thought of Krishna. And then there was an Akash Vani, a divine voice from above. And that divine voice told him, there's one great Sat Karma, one great sadhana, something you can do which will revive Jnana and Vairagya. And you can find out what that thing is from saints living in holy places. So Naradji went and visited all the holy places he could think of, visited all the saints living in those holy places, and he told them his problem, and they all said, well, if Ved, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Gita, reciting these didn't revive them, we have no idea. We don't know. If that didn't work, what will work? We don't know. Naradji was at his wit's end. No one was able to help him. He went to Badriban and he sat down determined to just sit and do devotion to Krishna until he got the answer. And as he sat down, Sanakadik Paramahansa, those 4 Jnani saints I told you about yesterday, they came and said, oh Naradji, what's bothering you? Why the long face? So Naradji explained to them this whole story and the whole problem, and how Jnana and Vairagya could not be revived by any of the telling of any other scripture. So Sanakadik Paramahansa had the answer for Naradji. He told him what the Sat Karma is that he has to do. But to hear about that, you'll have to come back and listen again tomorrow.